Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage. We're having a quick roundup of the year and a bit of a Christmas special because who can tell what sort of condition I'm going to be in over Christmas. There's lots that I'll be doing, but it may not get edited, so just my opportunity to round off this year, say hi and say Merry Christmas to you all. I've just finished relighting the garage. It's now probably too bright, if I'm honest. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 40-watt LED lights, and combined with a bit of white on the walls, I'm practically studio standard in my head. So that's pretty good. That's why I've had the garage doors open. That's why the car's running outside. I'm going to bring that in now and then drop the door so we can have a quick chat. Well, one of the things I did this year, talking about rounding the year off, is I invested in a decent microphone, a wireless lavalier mic, hence I can talk to you in here whilst filming from out there. So that's kind of number one on my list of what's happened this year. Next is the big game changer, the lift. The lift has been something I've been dreaming about since a kid, working in my dad's council garage, which is detached but a good walk away from our house. Working in there in all sorts of weathers, trying to build kit cars and repair old Morris Marinas and all the rest of it. And it's been my dream to have a ramp and a driveway that I could put a few cars on, and a garage that's got enough space to work in. And I got all those things in place. And thanks to the nice mirror on the wall, which again really enhanced my use of the ramp, I can drop the car onto the ramp first time, every time. Great microphone, isn't it? Still can't get the sound levels right, but we try. Next thing to cover has been the passing, if you like, of PJ, my original Carnival Red 1997 XK8 convertible, which I had for nearly 10 years, that I had to move on earlier in the year because the repairs it needed, and I wasn't going to let it just degenerate, I could not afford to make, and I didn't have the time and I didn't have the talent to. So found some excellent guys at Town and Country Cars in Cleethorpes who basically took the car off my hands. They've done the work on it. I did a deal to buy Purdy, which I was hankering for anyway, because one of the first 1,000 XK8s ever made. So I've now got an even older 1996 aquamarine XK8 convertible, sport trim, and a few more quirks and features. And you know how I love to share the differences and the special bits of the cars. And Purdy's only done 50,000 miles ever, and I will clock up more because I'm not somebody who thinks about keeping a car as a museum piece. But she's in very good shape and I'm trying to improve her. So that's been a real adventure, roller coaster emotionally, but very, very happy with Purdy. At the start of this year, the garage was barely habitable and now has nice painted floors, badly white painted walls. As you can see, I've got a lot of lighting in there to get rid of a lot of the shadows. And it's laid out not to perfection yet. I've still got a lot of work to do because I want to make this the most space efficient garage I can possibly have, but it's starting to come together. I've got storage behind my shelf. My shelf is bolted to this wall, this wall here, meaning I can actually climb it, meaning I've got access to some of the stuff in the loft of the garage. rags in 3 different flavours: dirty, clean and very clean for polishing. I've got the gravity racer mounted on the wall, ready to pull out and start some more work on. I've got the big pile of EBC stuff, so upgraded brakes, brake lines all round, including the handbrake system, braided hoses, new clips, absolutely everything to upgrade the braking system on Purdy to be the best it can be without resort to going up to the bigger sizes. So I want to keep the original size. Lots of other project stuff dangling from the ceiling. Got this brilliant telescopic monopod on which I mount my light. It's a work light, but also has helped out a lot with filming. I've been very pleased with that. We've still got lots of work going on the T4. These are wind deflectors for the T4 camper. The drawer of things to be fitted to Purdy, whoops, is stuck. Is quite full, despite us having a separate area for all the brake parts. So I've got a lot of stuff in here that I've been collecting and I'm getting ready to fit in later videos. Moving into the new workbench has been fabulous, great experience other than the rattle, and I shared with you guys in another video what that is and how that stops all of the rattles. And generally the garage is starting to feel kitted out in the way I want it. Plenty of good storage. I've still got access to my grip blasting cabinet, my powder coating oven, my compressor. It's all nicely tucked away. I've got a big heavy workbench that I can fold out on a gas ram, put a leg under it for doing stuff like sandcast moulding. Talking of sandcasting, the yellow and black cabinet contains all my stuff for the forge, for doing some casting. We've only just started to look at casting situation. More on that to follow soon. And yeah, I've got my little sink area over here, which, I keep having to repeat, goes into a bucket, not the drain, so don't fret when you see weird and wonderful stuff being poured away. That's my bucket where I take to the tip. Yeah, so the garage is starting to come together. And for all the nice toys and bits and pieces I've got in here, the one I've got to say you guys should go get right now is that one. If you don't have a good fire extinguisher in your garage, guys, don't buy any more tools until you've got one. You only need to have one fire and it's game over. So I've actually bought that one to add to the one that I've already got. So that's a foam extinguisher. I've already got a powder extinguisher. You just can't take chances with your pride and joy. Together, lots of us, I know, have made our diagnostic testing manual relays. In fact, people have already started to improve upon them. I'm looking at you here, Gary VanRemortels, as always, who's already manufactured his two-way version, so single pole double throw, with additional features such as a grain of wheat light bulb rather than the LED I've got, meaning this will work even if it's got a different polarity on the coil settings. And we went through that as a little lesson together, and that was good fun. The other vehicles are the Jeep Cherokee and the Navara NP300, and they've been working away excellently, keeping me and Joe on the road. And the Navara is getting to a decision point very soon, so looking to see what we're going to replace that with, or do we just run it till it pops. Betsy, the T4 Volkswagen Transporter auto sleeper conversion, is continuing to give us lots of pleasure, and we have a lot of jobs to do on her because she's in fine fettle for a 96, but is just starting to get the odd little scab. and although I've started to deal with her mechanically just from a servicing point of view, we've not really done any mods to her yet, and early next year there's going to be a few more mods. I did change the indicators to the white lenses and the tail lights to LEDs. That was more out of necessity because they was rubbish than anything else. And the rubbishy wheel trims, which cover 3 different types of wheel, will be going and replaced with something a little sexier soon. Well, to produce a garage that you can actually work in involved building a shed so that could store a lot of the garden things, but also my collection of spares and bits and pieces. And it's very messy at the moment, but I think you can't do a quick review of what's happened this year without showing how much this shed has helped out in creating that space so that we can play and do videos and all the rest of it, and store all of our lovely Jaguar bits and pieces and random car parts that I've collected from my other adventures with many other vehicles, including many kit cars. So what does next year bring for us as a group of people getting together on a bit of a community channel, which is definitely how it's feeling, and what does it put forward for me and Purdy? Well, me and Purdy are going to go on a few adventures, so a few journeys to interesting places which we're hoping to take you along to as well. So that's going to be good fun. Mods to Purdy include the brake system upgrade, obviously, but I really want to sort out the exhaust system. As far as I'm concerned, the standard system means it's broken because you can't hear the beautiful tunes. And thanks to everybody who keeps sending the suggestions for the best systems, etc. So that's definitely going to happen. And there's a few other little bits and bobs of mods, tuning and restoration that I've got planned for Purdy, which I'm going to keep under my hat for now. We've also tried a couple of live broadcasts, and they've gone okay. The technicalities of it all works out. The issue is that we don't really have a big enough subscriber community. We're doing okay. We're about 4,000 people at the moment. But at any given time of the day or night, if I do a live session, we're never going to have a lot of people to have that sort of continuity of questions and answers coming in, but we can get that chatter going. So unless the channel builds a little more, the live things will probably remain a little novelty I throw in now and again, probably because I'm trapped away from home and I'm bored and want to share what I'm thinking. What is not going to be a novelty though is you guys sending in photos and video clips. I tried something earlier in the year and was got a good response, but just this week we did the session looking at repeaters and side markers, and we asked a few people, you know, let's send in some pictures of what people have done, and I was overwhelmed with the response. It was fantastic. So off the back of that, I suggested that maybe people would like to send in pictures of their cars. And again, they've been piling in. So I'm going to round off this video with some of the images that have already been sent in and share with you right now that one of the things I want to do next year is put together some compilations of images that I want to see, and I'm hoping you do too. So please send me pictures of your car. Send me little short video clips of your car. If you're going to send a video clip, sideways landscape is far, far better for editing up. If it's not that way up, then it's not a problem. We'll deal with it. You can send them to the email address that I'll drop on the bottom of the screen right now. What are these selections I want to see? For me, I want to see an image of an XK8 with every standard wheel that you can get. I want to see that film. So I'm going to have to make it. So please send in your images so that I can assemble all of the different wheels on XK8s. So I can look at them side by side and go, no, do I want to stick with flutes, which I really like? Or do I want to go for the really expensive wheels that I fancy but don't know if I should, like Arden's wheels? Very, very nice. I also would like to get together every standard colour. And there is actually more than you'd imagine, because the limited editions, particularly in the States, the Celebration of Victory editions, we have the 100 edition in the UK and the Silverstone. There's some unusual colours knocking around. I'd like to get all of those and assemble them into a film for all of us to enjoy and compare and contrast. Likewise, the interior trims. There's going to be loads of cars out there like mine with cream or oatmeal for the interior, slightly less with a sport trim like this one, but where are the aubergines, the reds, the saddles, etc., etc.? There are lots of colour combinations which are not common. I'd like to get them all together in one film. Every roof colour in one film so we can compare and contrast. So you see where I'm going with this, guys. And if your car's non-standard, that I definitely want to see. At heart, I'm a modder, I'm a kit car man, I'm a bodger. I tend to keep my Jag relatively standard because it's such a beautiful thing. But I'm so interested in what people are doing on mods. So if your car's wrapped or a zany colour or has got really unusual aftermarket wheels, or you've done something to the bodywork, I'd love to see it. Send it in and let's really build this community. So I'm just going to round off by saying thank you so much for following this channel. Thank you so much, those of you who subscribe. If you've not already clicked the bell icon and enabled notifications on your system, please do so, because it means you get to know straight away when we put something new up. But it also helps me out. As we discussed before, this channel is never going to make a lot of money because it's way too niche, but it has generated enough cash for me to buy the braided hoses for my brake conversion this year. So yeah, pennies are great, and if you guys subscribe and click the bell icon, that really helps me. Share the video with your friends, and most important, stay safe. And can I wish you, from me, from Purdy, from Joe, and from Molly our dog, a fabulous Christmas season, holiday season, and a 2020 filled with health, wealth and happiness for you all. I love sharing these videos with you, and as long as I've got something to say, they're going to keep coming, and they're always going to be free. Thanks guys, see you soon. John out.